Starting lineups for the Krum Bobcats. You know them well. Heard their names all year long. Followed them at Krum and on the road. And they're bringing it out now for the regional championship. Starting at point guard, the 5'9" senior, Michael Curry, is the real floor leader for the Krum Bobcats. Starting at forward, 6'3" senior, leading scorer on the Krum Bobcats, Jason Martin. Starting in the middle, 6'6" senior, transferred from Whitesboro, Barry Kemp. Starting at the other guard, the sophomore, 5'10", Brian Kemp. Amazing, this sophomore has done so much for this team this year.
I think he was the unsung hero last night's game.
And Brian Ham, starting at the small forward, the 6'2" senior, wearing his brother's old number, 00, where his brother had some great games here at Wisdom Gym. I tell you, from the opening tip, this is going to be an exciting game because these two can both leap. The tip goes to Barry Kemp, but almost stolen away by the Italy Gladiators, and Michael Curry comes up with it. Tries to feed a quick alley-oop to Barry Kemp, stolen away by Aaron Copeland. Copeland streaks down the court, gets it to Huggins. Huggins in the paint, shot up, no good. Price with the rebound, a putback and good. And immediately, Sammy Price makes his presence known.
Now we're going to see just how important it is for Barry Kemp to get down on Sammy Price.
Italy opens up in a man-to-man defense. Jason Martin on the far baseline. Feeds it cross court, Michael Curry. Curry guarded by Kate. Drives past Kate, baseline, pulls it back out for Jason Martin. Martin from the free throw line, shot up and no good. Rebound to Sammy Price. Price to Aaron Copeland. Copeland bringing it up. Over on the far side, guarded by Michael Curry. Krum in the man-to-man. Kate, guarded by Brian Kemp. Back over to Copeland. Copeland tries to move past Curry into the paint, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound, tipped around and out. Michael Curry with the ball. 3-on-2 break for Michael Curry. Goes through the double coverage, tries to lay it up, and gets a foul called against Joe Mack Huggins. The shot didn't fall down, but Michael Curry will go to the line.
Curry showed some smarts on that play. He drove down the middle of the lane on that 3-on-2, and nobody really committed to him, so he went ahead and took it up and drew the foul on Joe Mack Huggins.
Curry at the line for two. A minute gone by in this regional championship. No score, well, one score, 2-0. The Italy Gladiators on top on a Sammy Price bucket. The first shot from Michael Curry, no good. He gets a shot on the way from Michael Curry, and this one is good. Michael Curry gets the first point of the Krum Bobcats tonight, 2-1. The Gladiators have the lead. Copeland streaks down court, feeds it over to Kate. Kate in the middle going up against Barry Kemp. Shot off the back, no good. Rebound fought around, and the foul goes against Barry Kemp. Sammy Price and Barry Kemp fighting for the rebound, and the ball goes to Italy.
Well, Barry Kemp a little bit out of position on that one, but Sammy Price had that one with his jumping ability.
Kate gets the ball on the inbound pass, near baseline, feeds it into Huggins. Huggins has the ball knocked away, but Kate gets it back. Kate drives through, now tries to feed it over to Sammy Price. Ball knocked out of bounds by Jason Martin.
Krum Bobcats using some good defense there on Ken Kate as both Martin and Barry Kemp were down there to double on him.
Rebound, inbound pass coming into Aaron Copeland. Now feed it out top of the circle, Sammy Price. Tries to drive through, ball stripped away by Brian Kemp. Brian Ham gets the ball, passes over to Michael Curry. It's knocked out of bounds off the hands of Aaron Copeland.
And there you see the speed of Copeland and the general team speed of Italy, very fast, as comparable to the Krum Bobcats.
Michael Curry brings it down on the near baseline. Looks inside for Barry Kemp. Barry Kemp working against Price. Goes up, shot down, counter with a foul. And Barry Kemp shows one up on Sammy Price that time.
Well, score one for Barry Kemp in a battle of the Titans that time. Sammy Price got the better of him the first couple times down the court. But Barry Kemp, with a very strong move to his left, put it up over Price and drew the foul.
Barry Kemp with a three-point play opportunity here. Shot up and good. And Krum takes the first lead, 4-2. Kate tries to pass it down, gets called with a travel. Kincaid brought the ball up. He came down and tried to pass it off, but took a double step before he did it.
Well, he had Kofer on the wing, but did hesitate and took that extra jump step before throwing it, so he got called for the turnover.
6:23 left to go in the first period, 4-2. Krum with the lead. Michael Curry feed it inside, Jason Martin. Martin Bangs around, now passes back out to Curry. Three-point shot on the way, good. Michael Curry with 4 points. Three-point shot for the point guard. Aaron Copeland with the ball coming down. Copeland streaks through, has one man to beat, feeds it over to Sammy Price, knocked out by Barry Kemp. Shot on the way from Kate, rebound Byron Ham. Ham down court to Jason Martin, baseline shot up, no good off the back of the rim. Huggins with the rebound. Huggins gets it over to Cofer. Cofer to Copeland, inside Sammy Price, going down with it, slamming home. Barry Kemp was not around that time, and Sammy Price slammed it home.
Well, Italy is using that quickness to beat the press of Krum. They've just got great team speed in that transition offense.
Brian Ham now inside to Barry Kemp. Kemp alone off the glass and good. Beat Price to the backboard that time. Sammy Price got beat. Barry Kemp 5 points. Ball knocked away on the inbound pass by Brian Ham, and the ball will stay in Italy's hands. There's a foul called, 0-0. That's Brian Ham. Brian's first foul, and the second team foul for the Krum Bobcats. 9-4 the score here. 5:18 left to go in the first period. Aaron Copeland from the free throw line. No good. Michael Curry with the rebound. Curry brings it down. Feeds it over to Jason Martin on the far side. Martin looking down inside. Has Barry Kemp working against Price. Turnaround. Jump shot up. Rolls around and down for Barry Kemp. 7 points for Barry. 11-4. Krum with the lead. Price feeds it down to Kate. Kate 2-on-2. Inside over to Cofer. Cofer pulls it out. Jump shot blocked by Barry Kemp. And Barry Kemp is dominating inside now. Brian Ham pulls it up. Feeds it over far side. Now near side into Jason Martin. Martin passes over to Kemp. Up off the glass. Rolls off. No good. A foul on the play. Italy ball. And I think they're going to call Kemp with an offensive foul. Change that.
Jason Martin.
Jason Martin with the foul.
Well, that actually benefits Krum a little bit more because that would have been Barry Kemp's second foul. So having it on Jason Martin doesn't hurt them as much.
11-4. 4:37 left to go in the first period. Krum on top. Inside. They get it to Cofer. Cofer turn around on Kemp and goes down this time. Cofer gets it high enough to get out of Kemp's reach. 11-6. Ken Cofer with his first points. Michael Curry brings it up. Over to Jason Martin. Martin thought about a three. Now passes it inside. Tries to get it to Barry Kemp. And they get a foul called, and it's going against Sammy Price. And Carlos, this is what we were thinking that Krum might try to exploit with Sammy Price, try to pick up some early fouls on him. He's got 2 right now.
Yeah, they tried to get an alley-oop inside to Barry Kemp, and Price was holding him down. At least that's what the referee said. Price didn't think he was. But 2 fouls early on Sammy Price. If they can get him out of the game, that would do Krum very well.
Brian Kemp inside. Jason Martin shot up, no good. Kemp fights for the rebound. He gets it, but loses it away. And Keith Davis comes up with the ball, but they get a foul against Krum. Foul this time goes against Brian Kemp, sorry. Brian Kemp's first foul, the 14th foul for Krum, the third team foul on Italy, so neither one yet close to the bonus.
We talked about Price being out having to sit out. He is now out of the ball game with the second foul. He is replaced by Keith Davis, but Davis is pretty quick himself.
And only a freshman, too. Traveling violation, Aaron Copeland trying to bring the ball down, took a shuffle step before passing it off. Turnover Italy, score 11-6, the Krum Bobcats ahead. 4 minutes left to go in the first period here from Stephenville, the regional championship. Brian Kemp inbounds the ball, gets it over to Jason Martin. Martin comes down, guarded by Keith Davis. Martin brings it through, top of the three-point line, down to Barry Kemp. Reverse layup try, no good. Rebound comes down to Italy, and a whistle in the middle. Foul call coming against Krum, and it's Brian Ham. That's number 2 for Brian.
Ham, the first Krum Bobcat with 2 fouls. Of course, for Italy, Price has 2. Joe McHuggins has 1. And that's 5 team fouls on Krum.
Michael Curry and Barry Kemp, the only scorers in the ballgame so far for Krum. Kemp with 7, Curry with 4. Copeland over on the far side, drives through, passes off to Huggins. Huggins will try a three-point shot, rolls off, no good. Rebound comes down Barry Kemp. Michael Curry, double team, ball stolen away by Keith Davis, but knocked into the hands of Jason Martin. Martin top of the circle. Looking for a pass inside Brian Kemp, now feeds it out to Brian Ham. Three-point shot on the way, up, no good. Huggins with the rebound, knocks Brian Kemp on his butt. No foul called. Aaron Copeland comes down, driving shot, whistle before the shot, traveling violation against Italy.
And that's 2 turnovers on Aaron Copeland. He got a traveling call the other time down the floor. So Copeland, I think, maybe a little over anxious on this fast break situation.
11-6. The score has stayed there for a couple of minutes now. 3:19 left to go. Oh, nice steal from Aaron Copeland, and he stepped out of bounds. But what an athletic play to try to steal it away from Jason Martin.
And he almost nailed Coach Troy Ham in the process, too.
Michael Curry with the ball, 3:16. They're working from our left to right. Brian Ham has the ball over the half-court line. Feeds it to Michael Curry. Now over to Jason Martin. Martin will try a three-point shot. This one rolls off no good. Barry Kemp there with the rebound. Comes back, and he is fouled by Joe Mack Huggins. Kemp had an open lane to the basket. He comes driving through, and then Huggins stepped in his way, tripped him. That's a foul on Huggins, number 2. Barry Kemp goes to the line.
And that's 2 on the 2 big men for the Italy Gladiators. Barry Kemp is doing wonders inside.
Scratch the shooting foul call. Krum will inbound it. They get it to Brian Ham. Up off the glass, perfect. Brian Ham with his first points of the night. 13-6. The Krum Bobcats with a lead. 3:05 left to go in the first period. Copeland comes down. Looks on the far wing, Keith Davis. Over to Huggins. Huggins, turnaround, jump shot, up, no good. Rebound, fought around, goes out of bounds, off the hands of the Krum Bobcats. The last touch by Brian Ham.
And that was skittered off a couple of players, and unfortunately for Krum, Brian Ham was the last one to touch it.
Kenneth Wallace to inbound it for Italy. Over to Aaron Copeland. Copeland drives through, tries to go up, loses the ball away. Barry Kemp has it, over to Jason Martin. Michael Curry feeds it down court. Brian Kemp inside to Brian Ham. Ham goes up. Blocked away by Copeland, I do believe, was the man who blocked that shot. Now coming down, Ken Cofer passes it over to Copeland, and it goes off of his hands out of bounds. So a turnover after a nice block shot.
That's 6 turnovers now for Italy compared to 7 for Italy compared to 3 for Krum.
Brian Ham has to save the ball from going out of bounds on a long court pass. Brian Kemp has the ball. 3-point shot on the way for Brian Kemp. No good. Rebound comes down. Kenneth Wallace for Italy. Wallace driving through. Now pulls it out. Feeds it over to Huggins. Huggins has the ball knocked away by Curry. Fight for the ball. Down low. And Curry saves it. Passes it off to Barry Kemp. Now Curry gets it again. And he has to call a timeout. They're going to call him for walking, I do believe.
No, just out of bounds off of Krum.
Out of bounds. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, Krum really wants to go to Austin. They are on the floor for every loose ball. Anytime the ball is on the ground, there's at least one Krum Bobcat on the floor to go get it.
Yeah, but Italy's doing the same thing. I mean, both these teams have equal desire, I think. It's just a matter of who can execute it the best. Davis tries to drive around Barry Ham, and they get a foul called against Barry Ham, or Brian Ham. That's number 3 for Brian. He's going to have to take a seat, and he is very frustrated at the moment. Brian putting his heart and soul into this game. And right now he has to take a seat. And the older Ham shoving him down into the seat to have a lecture with him. Italy inbounds the ball over to Copeland. Copeland 3-point shot off the turnaround. Good for Aaron Copeland. He was a nice addition to this team last night as he really had some nice points and good moves. He hits a 3-pointer there. Barry Kemp inside, goes up, shot no good. He'll go to the line. He was fouled by Joe Mack Huggins, and that's Huggins number 3. So just as soon as Brian Ham comes out of the ball game, out comes Joe Mack Huggins with 3 fouls as well. 1:49 left to go in the first period, and the Krum Bobcats with a 13-8 lead.
Doug, I've got 9 points for.
So do I.
For Italy. I think the scoreboard is wrong.
I think they're going to have to correct that.
There they go. They just changed it now.
Brian Kemp inbounds the ball for the Krum Bobcats, trying to find somebody to pass to. He has to get it over to Jason Martin. Martin out top of the circle, Paul Ragland. Had an open shot, passed it up for Brian Kemp. Kemp going in, driving pass, now dishing off to Barry. Barry inside in the middle, dishes off Jason Martin. There up off the glass. Good. Excellent pass from Barry Kemp to Jason Martin.
Well, that's exactly how Jason Martin got most of his 10 points last night, just on the weak side.
15-9. Krum Bobcats have the lead. 1:27 left to go first period. Copeland drives through, fakes it, now goes to the glass, up and no good. Nice move, but he didn't finish the play. Michael Curry comes down. He gets it up to Paul Ragland. Ragland going up against Price. Price afraid to foul him, and Ragland got a nice shot up off the glass.
You hit the nail on the head, Doug. Sammy Price did not want to draw his 3rd foul on that shot, so he let Paul Ragland get the basket, basically.
17-9, Krum with the lead. Copeland passes over to Kenneth Wallace. Now inside, Sammy Price. Turnaround jump shot right over Barry Kemp. This one just rolls off the edge. Jason Martin with the rebound. He passes up to Michael Curry. Full court pressure by the Italy Gladiators, and they are tough, but Krum breaks it. Jason Martin driving through, fakes a shot, goes up and travel on Jason Martin. Didn't look like a travel.
Well, I couldn't really tell. I saw him put the shot up, but unfortunate situation. Italy's having a hard time finishing off their plays, just like Itasca did last night. Italy is getting the good shots. They're just not falling.
Copeland passes over to Wallace. Wallace drives through now and puts a shot up off the glass. This one's no good, and they get him with a charge. Paul Ragland drew the offensive foul. And Copeland, with his first foul, or actually that was Wallace, he's got his first foul. This Italy team likes to drive. They like to penetrate. And when you do that on a regular basis, you're going to open yourself up to some offensive fouls because sometimes you're just coming in too strong.
Especially when you have Paul Ragland standing there like a statue in the middle of the lane.
Jason Martin bringing the ball up. He tries to find Michael Curry, but Curry guarded closely by Wallace. Now feed it down to Barry Kemp. Kemp beats Price again, up off the glass and good. And Barry Kemp is starting to win the battle between the two big guys. He's got 9. It's 19-9. 10-point lead for Krum. 16 seconds and counting in the first period. Ken Cate over to Wallace. 11 seconds. Keith Davis. Copeland takes a long three-pointer. This one's no good. Price with the rebound. Puts the shot up. No good. Rebound comes down to Wallace. He puts it in. He makes it. 1 second. Now no seconds as time runs off the first period. And the last shot made by Wallace makes the score. Krum 19 and Italy 11. First offensive possession from Italy. Michael Curry in the ball game. 19 and Italy 11. First offensive possession from Italy. Michael Curry in the ball game, feeds it off to Jason Martin. Martin back to Curry, three-point shot on the way from Curry, hits it again. Michael Curry, second three-pointer, 7 points for him. And Mike, a senior, he is stepping up and hitting big shots. Ken Cate, 22-11 Krum. Inside to Kenneth Wallace. Wallace drives through now, dishes over. Keith Davis, three-point shot on the way. He hits one for Italy. Keith Davis with his first points of the ball game. 22-14. Jason Martin bringing the ball down, guarded by Davis. Davis tries for a steal behind the back dribble. Martin passes over to Ragland. Ragland driving baseline, his favorite shot, layup, good. And Paul Ragland exploits the baseline again. 4 points for Paul.
Just like a pro. That was a really classy move by Ragland.
Davis looking for Price inside, guarded closely by Jason Martin right now. Kemp playing the high post. Here comes Copeland driving through, shot up, good, but wave it off and call a traveling violation against Copeland.
Yeah, as soon as Copeland took the ball, he took 2 steps in trying to get that great leap into the basket. He had a vicious slam dunk in the game against Electra that really brought the crowd to his feet. He took 1 step from the free throw line and was at a 45-degree angle when he slammed the ball home, and that really brought the house down last night.
That was Jordan-esque. Ryan Peterson in the ball game now for Krum. Inbounds the ball to Michael Curry. Curry driving through now, dishes it off to Jason Waller. Waller turnaround shot blocked away by Sammy Price, and not perfectly blocked because he got the ball back and was able to feed it to his other teammates. Keith Davis driving in, tries to put up a shot. Blocking foul on Jason Waller, out of position. The shot from Davis no good, but he can go to the line here. 17 fouls against Krum. That puts Italy in the bonus.
Yeah, Davis drove around him. Waller turned his hips. I think if he had stayed square to Davis, he might have been able to get the charge call, but when he turned his hips like that, he was out of position. 24-14 Krum as Davis takes his first free throw, and he hits it. Keith Davis with 4 points here off a big three-pointer just a few minutes ago. 6:40 left to go in the first half. Second shot up, and good for Davis. Michael Curry to bring the ball down. It's 24-16 Krum, an 8-point lead for the Bobcats. Paul Ragland on the near side, now driving baseline, comes through, finds an open lane, goes off the glass, rolls and around and down, and Paul Ragland does it again. 6 points, and all of them on baseline drives for Paul Ragland. He loves that baseline. That's what they teach you on defense, is to guard that baseline. Italy not doing it, Ragland getting the job done.
Price has the ball, 15-foot baseline jumper, no good. Rebounded down to Kenan Kofer. Kofer gets it off to Davis. Shot no good, Barry Kemp's there. Gets it Michael Curry's way. Curry comes down, looks, passes over to Barry Kemp. Kemp from the free throw line, shot up, no good. Davis fights for the rebound, he gets it for Italy. The Gladiators come down. Kenneth Wallace with the ball, drives past Curry, now tries to feed it, has nowhere to go, pull up jumpers, turns it around, no good. There's a rebound by Barry Kemp again.
The ball once again going in and out. That should have been an Italy basket by all rights, but it just didn't go in the basket.
Boy, the rims are hard here in Stephenville. 26-16, 10-point lead for Krum. Inside, Barry Kemp up, count it with a foul. Kemp went up for a dunk. He got hit, so he just laid it in. The basket counts. He'll go to the line. He's got 11 points. The foul on the play going against Cofer. That's Cofer's first. 5:32 left to go, and out comes Paul Ragland and a standing ovation from the Krum fans.
Well, I tell you, he's really fired up for this game. But the credit on that last play has to go to Jason Martin. He threw that ball right over the outstretched hands of Sammy Price, right into where Barry Kemp could get it and put up the layup.
And Kemp makes his free throw, which has been a godsend for him this year because he gets fouled quite a lot. And he's got 12 points. It's 29-16. Krum with the lead. Kenneth Wallace over to Kate. Ken Kate looking for Davis. Davis drives past Ryan Peterson, puts up a shot. This one good. Keith Davis stepping up big. He's got 7 points.
And all of those from outside shots. He's been a great outside threat for the Gladiators so far in this game.
Brian Kemp feeds it over to Barry Kemp. Kemp drives in the paint past Sammy Price. Layup, no good. And a pushing foul. And are they going to get Davis with it?
Price
with it. That's Price's third. First half. Still 5 minutes left to go, and Price in foul trouble with 3. He's got to take a bench again.
Well, it was curious to me. He didn't raise his hand as Kemp was going around him. Instead, he kept him down by his side and gave him a push on the side, and that's what the referee saw.
And they can say what they want about me, Carlos.
Yeah.
But at least I had one idea that was good. Last night we were talking about it, and I said they ought to get that ball inside to Barry Kemp and see what he can do. And he's not only drawn 3 fouls on Sammy Price, he's got 13 points in the ball game. He misses the second free throw, and here comes Cofer down to Kate. Kate tries to pass it over to Wallace, and he loses the ball out of bounds. Krum basketball.
I think Kate would have done better on that particular play to try and take the layup. He saw what he thought was an open Kenneth Wallace, and he really tried to strong arm the ball to him. Now, Kate is the quarterback for the Italy Gladiators, but on that particular play, I think he should have made it and tried to lay up.
30-18 as Barry Kemp comes out of the ball game with 13 points right now. He'll get a rest. Jason Martin in the ball game with Jason Waller, Ryan Peterson, Michael Curry, and Brian Kemp. Curry with the ball, calling out a one play. Passes it over to Jason Martin. Martin looks for the baseline, can't find it, goes back out to Curry. Back over to Kemp. Now Curry tries a three-point shot, hits another one. Michael Curry with 3 threes. He's got 10 points in the ball game. Aaron Copeland passing it over to Davis. Davis now over on the far side to Cofer. Cofer inside to Huggins. Huggins shot up off the glass and good. The first points for Joe Mack Huggins. He had 18 points last night. 4 minutes left to go in the ball game. In the first half, rather. And there's Jason Waller. Free throw line shot no good. Huggins with the rebound. Down to Cofer. Cofer looking, driving through, takes it to the rack. Layup good. And Copeland that time went straight through. That's his 5th point, and he's got a nice slide to the basket.
Yeah, and nobody, even though there were 4 players in the paint for Krum, nobody made a move to go get him, so he just took it up and put it up himself. I'm sure Troy Hamm is going to have that one fixed by halftime.
Brian Kemp finds a cutting Ryan Peterson to the glass, and good. Ryan Peterson made a nice give-and-go type play. He gets 2 points. 35-22, Krum with a 13-point lead. 3:37 left to go in the first half. Over to Wallace. 18-foot jumper, no good. Brian Kemp with the rebound, loses the ball away. Keith Davis fighting for the ball, and he loses it out of bounds. Ball goes to Krum. Davis not happy about it, but the ball did go off his hands.
Looked like it went off his face, actually. After he had it in his hands, he fell to the floor. It went off of his face and out of bounds.
Brian Kemp playing the point right now, leading the ball up. He gets it over to Jason Waller. Waller over to Peterson. Peterson back out top of the circle, Jason Martin. Martin driving in, now stops, pulls out, dishes it back out to Waller. Waller top of the circle, Brian Kemp thought about it, now pulls it out for Martin. Martin comes through in the paint, finds an open shot, takes it and makes it. Jason Martin with 4 points, and it's a 37-22 Krum lead. 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Italy in a little bit of pressure now as Keith Davis tries to drive baseline. A foul call on the play, Ryan Peterson. Peterson with his first. That'll be 2 shots for Keith Davis. Davis with 7 points. He leads the Italy Gladiators. Barry Kemp leads the way for Krum with 13, but Michael Curry also has 10.
Davis is so quick. He's been on the outside, and I think Peterson probably thought Davis was going to try an outside shot. He was out of position when Davis put it down and drove.
Free throw up, no good. Rebound controlled by Paul Ragland, and Michael Curry has the ball. There's 2:50 left to go in the first half now. A whistle on the play, a foul, and they get Ken Wallace with a foul, pressuring, and they get him with a defensive foul as Paul Ragland came up to set a pick, and he knocked Ragland down. That'll go against Wallace for number 2.
As far as three-pointers go, Krum is 3 of 3. Michael Curry with all 3 of those. Italy is 2 of 3. Davis and Copeland each have 1 for the Gladiators.
Paul Ragland will go to the line for 2 shots. Krum in the bonus now, 17 fouls against Italy. Ragland misses the first of the 1-and-1, and down with the rebound comes Coper. Coper tries to feed it over to Copeland, knocked out of bounds by Michael Curry.
Curry doing a good job in a 4-on-3 situation, anticipating the passing lane.
Barry Kim's coming into the ball game. Jason Waller is going to take the seat. Apparently, Troy was very upset about something that Waller did, and he pulled him in a heartbeat.
Ooh.
Huggins to inbound the ball. He gets it inside over to Wallace. Now back over to Huggins. Huggins a three-point shot, and he nails it. Joe Mack Huggins, a 6'4 post player, hits the three-pointer, and now he's got 5 points. 37-25. Curry inside Barry Kemp. Kemp doesn't have to deal with Price. He goes up, takes a shot. It's good, but to wave it off would have traveled.
It looked like he shuffled his feet as he was, I don't think he was expecting the double team is what it was. He went to go up, and he saw that there were 2 players there, decided he was going to have to alter himself, and traveled in the midst of doing that.
Copeland guarded by Curry, has nowhere to go. He has to pass it away. They get him calling for holding the ball, 5-second violation. And a nice defensive effort from Michael Curry. He shut down Aaron Copeland. Curry's been awesome today.
Yes, he has, but Troy Ham taking advantage of every situation. As soon as that one was called, he called all 5 of his players over to try and tell them something before they threw the ball in.
37-25 Krum. Barry Kemp over on the near side. It's Jason Martin. Martin driving into the paint. Turnaround. Tries to pass it inside to Ragland. Goes out of bounds off the hands of Krum. Italy to inbound the ball. 2 minutes left to go in this first half. It's 37-25 Krum over the Gladiators of Italy. Kate over to Copeland. A wide open Huggins standing here on three-point range. Puts up the jumper. It's no good. Rebound to Keith Davis. Davis fights through. Goes up for a shot. Rolls around. Falls down. And you can count the basket with a foul. I think Paul Ragland's going to be the man in question here. Actually, it'll be Brian Kemp.
Nope, Jason Martin.
Musical fouls here. Trying to figure out which one was it. They had him triple team down there, and he went up against all 3 of them. He made it and misses the free throw. Rebound comes down to Italy, and they lose the... Copeland misses the shot, but again they have a foul call. That was Martin's second. This will be Curry's second.
Michael Curry.
Michael Curry's first.
We were talking about Curry earlier. He has hit 3 three-pointers. He's been great from outside and great on defense and great at leading the ball up the floor for the Bobcats.
Keith Davis cannot hit his free throws right now. Only a freshman. He's got 9 points in the ball game. He could easily have 12 or 13 if he had just sunk the free throws. He misses the first one.
Can you imagine this guy in 4 years?
Oh, boy, I tell you. Odell James. 10 points for Keith Davis as he hits the second. Paul Ragland on the near baseline. Thought about a 3, now passes out. Brian Kemp back out to Paul Ragland. Drives past Davis. Pull-up jumper from 15. No good. Jason Martin right there with the rebound. Puts up a shot. He's fouled. Martin with the 2-shot penalty. He'll take 2 from the free throw line. The foul going against Ken Cofer. That'll be his second. Jason Martin this afternoon with 4 points. First free throw on the way from Martin, and it's good. So Martin converts on the first one, makes it 38-28. Italy has not been able to close the gap past 10 in quite a while. Second free throw, good for Jason Martin. He's up to 6. Here comes Aaron Copeland, 39-28 Krum. Minute 21 left to go first half. Kate over to Copeland. Copeland driving through, finds an open lane, dishes it off to Cofer. Cofer shot up off the glass and good.
And there we talked about Italy's great passing. Copeland just saw the open man in Cofer and gave it to him for a nice, easy layup.
Brian Kemp, top of the circle, 39-30 Krum. Less than a minute to play, first half. Inside, Jason Martin. Turnaround, uncontested, shot up, no good. Keith Davis with the rebound. Davis streaking up the court, has a 3-on-2. Now pulls it out for a three-pointer, and he misses off the back of the rim. Barry Kemp with the rebound. Kemp gets it off to Curry. Troy Hammond shouting instructions. They're calling for the one play. They're going to try to run some time off the clock, take that last shot here if they can get it in the first period. First half action here in Stephenville. Krum with the lead, 39-30. 27 seconds left to go. Paul Ragland, top of the circle, over to Brian Kemp. Kemp back to Michael Curry. 21 seconds in the first half. Paul Ragland, far side, over to Brian Kemp. Now over to Michael Curry, near side. Barry Kemp guarded by Joe Mack Huggins. Inside to Barry. Shot up, turnaround, no good. Rebound. Barry Kemp puts it back and good. 5 seconds left to go, first half. Joe Mack Huggins has to go. 2 seconds, 1 second. Fling it from midcourt, no good. That's the end of the first half. Turnaround, jump shot from 15, no good. And the rebound comes down to Italy. Italy now moving from our right to left as we go here, or from left to right, rather, as we go here. Don't know my right from my left anymore, Carlos. Ken Coper, top of the circle to Ken Kate. Aaron Copeland driving past Brian Ham, and shot up off the glass and good for Copeland. 7 points for Copeland, 41-32. They break it down to within 9 again for the Italy Gladiators. Brian Kemp over on the far side. The full starters out on the floor for Krum. Brian Ham, three-point shot from the top of the circle, hits it. And Brian Ham, who has 3 fouls, had to spend a lot of time on the bench in the first half, comes out and hits his first one, a 3-point shot.
He was very frustrated with his performance, and that's one way to overcome it is with good shooting.
Inside driving, Ken Kate misses. Jason Martin with the rebound. Here comes Michael Curry. Feeds it over to Brian Ham. Ham doesn't have the numbers, pulls up, takes a jump shot off the glass, rolls in. For Brian Ham, 7 points. 46-32, the Krum Bobcats. Aaron Copeland driving through a double team, loses the ball away to Brian Ham. Now picked up by Sammy Price. Turnaround, shot blocked by Barry Kemp, but they get him with a foul. Oh, that looked like a good one, but foul call on Barry Kemp.
I guess they're going to call him with the body because he swatted that ball right out of the sky. That was a great block, but unfortunately get a little bit too much down low, I think.
And Coach Klingenpool's got to be asking right now for Sammy Price to step it up. He's got to, because Sammy is the MVP on this ball club. But with 3 fouls, boy, it's a dangerous situation that he's in. Sammy goes to the free throw line, and Price hits the first one.
Well, he was able to get that one because of the frenetic action. There was a little bit of a loose ball action, and Price was able to get it and basically beat Barry Kemp to it. But Price is still, you said it right, Doug, the onus is going to be on him.
Makes the second one for 6 points, and it makes the score 46-34, 12-point lead for Krum. Michael Curry, top of the circle. Over to Kincaid. In front of him, over to Jason Martin, off the back of the rim, no good from 3. Rebound comes down, Aaron Copeland. Copeland dishes it off. Now it's back to Copeland. Layup good for Aaron Copeland on a nice feed from Ken Coper.
There's some of that speed that we talked about that Italy has on that transition off the fast break. Copeland just fed by everyone for the layup.
Michael Curry over to Brian Ham. Ham driving on the baseline, tries to go through, up off, no good off the backside of the rim. Rebound comes down to Coper, over to Copeland. Kincaid driving baseline, goes down, stripped away by Brian Kemp, and the ball goes out of bounds, stays with Italy, but a nice strip by Brian Kemp.
Kemp had been beaten as Kate went around him, but he was able to get him up over the top as he was about to put the shot up. Nice block and nice defense by Brian Kemp.
The only thing was he had a chance to chase that ball down, and he didn't go after it. Kincaid works the ball around, over to Copeland. Joe Mack Huggins posting up on Jason Martin. Copeland looking for Huggins, now pulls it back out and feeds it to Kate. Kincaid over to Sammy Price. Price out from outside, takes a 3-point shot and hits it. Sammy Price, inside and outside, starting to heat up a little bit. He's got 9 points, 46-39 now.
Coach Klingenfield's giving him the ball on the high post, and that's exactly what they had to do.
Brian Ham fakes down on Kim Wallace, now passes inside to Barry Kemp, slamming home, baby. Barry Kemp makes it good for 17 points. Ball stolen away by Italy and knocked out of bounds. Michael Curry trying to feed Jason Martin, and Ken Tate comes around and knocks the ball out. Italy with the ball, as they say, last touch by Krum. Joe Mack Huggins with it at the top of the circle, tries to feed it over to Copeland. Copeland stays with control on the ball, now passes back out to Huggins. Huggins from 15, no good, off the front of the rim. Rebound comes down, Michael Curry. Curry with a 3-on-3, goes past Copeland, now dishes off to Jason Martin. Martin working against Price, up off the glass, no good. Huggins with the rebound. Feed it over to Copeland, and here comes Italy. 48-39. Over on the far side, near side now Ken Tate. Three-point shot from Tate, no good. Tipped around and out, rebound, and there's a whistle on the play. Foul coming against the Italy Gladiators, and they're going to get Huggins. That'll be Huggins at number 4. And he has to take a bench.
Well, after hitting a three-point shot, Sammy Price has been down low for Italy on the last couple of possessions by the Gladiators. I guess Coach Klingenfield doesn't want him taking those three-point shots.
Curry drives the lane, goes up, layup, rolls off the back of the rim, and good, as it makes it bounce down. Michael Curry with 12 points. 50-39. The Krum Bobcats with the lead. 4:23 left to go in the third period. Copeland drives the lane. He goes over Barry Kemp, layup good. Aaron Copeland with 11. 50-41.
I was going to say, 6 of Copeland's points have been right here in the third quarter. He's starting to come alive for the Gladiators.
Michael Curry, top of the circle, guarded by Ken Tate. Passes over to Brian Ham. Ham almost has the ball knocked away, passes it back to Curry. Curry going past Tate, now pulls it back out. Doesn't have a shot. Goes inside to Barry Kemp. Kemp, reverse layup, no good. Gets his own rebound. Dishes off to Jason Martin. Martin has the ball stripped away by Copeland. Gets it over to Ken Tate. Tate driving past Curry. Tries to put up a shot. This one doesn't go. They call a foul, and it's going to be on Curry, and Troy Ham wants a timeout. Ham's going to give the guys a lesson here as Michael Curry with 2 fouls will send Ken Tate to the line after the timeout.
Well, Barry Kemp on that last possession for Krum had the ball down low, and I tell you what, Sammy Price is absolutely handcuffed. Those 3 fouls are really wearing on him because he did not make one move towards Barry Kemp. He's trying to put his body in the area, but he's not reaching out. He's not doing anything else other than trying to outposition him, and Barry Kemp is showing that he's a little bit quicker than that.
Right now is the time for the inspirational go-do-it speech, and Troy Ham delivering it right now to the Krum Bobcats. 50-41, they have a 9-point lead, but they have been up as much as 14 in this third period of action. One thing that they don't want to do is let this Italy team, which can streak at any moment, get back into this ballgame, get down within 2 or 3 points of the Krum Bobcats. That's the same challenge that they faced last night against Itasca.
The only difference between the Itasca and Italy team basically is the fact that Sammy Price is a little bit taller than Dunlap is from Itasca. But other than that, the team speed is just about the same, and you still have that feeling if Italy can break loose on a string here, this game could be a lot closer than it is right now. And it's not that far right now.
We got 3:44 left to go in the third period. 50-41, the Krum Bobcats with a 9-point lead. Here in the second half, the Krum Bobcats 2 team fouls, Italy 1. Ken Tate steps up to the line. It's a 2-shot foul. And Tate connects no on the first one. It looked like it was going down for a second and then rolled off. The rims continue to be bad news for Italy and Krum. Second free throw on the way, and this one falls. So Tate with his first point of the night. And Krum to inbound the ball, leading by 8, 50-42, 3:44 left to go. In the game, Barry Kemp, Brian Ham, Brian Kemp, Jason Martin, and Michael Curry. Curry guarded closely by Wallace. Passes it over to Brian Ham. Ham, turnaround, 3-point shot, top of the circle, no good. He gets a foul drawn on Mike Coper. He'll shoot 3. Ken Coper. I know, I'm thinking about the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, it's got the same colors just about. But Cofer fouls Ham. That'll be 3 shots for Ham. It should be. I don't know if they made the indication or not. Yep, they did.
Shooting 3 is Brian Ham. He's got 7 points, a chance to get 10, and to put Krum up by 11 here in the ball game. Ken Coper's 3rd foul, by the way. So in foul trouble for the Italy Gladiators as Brian Ham makes his first one. Joe Mack Huggins with 4, Ken Cofer with 3, Sammy Price with 3. The foul trouble for the Krum Bobcats. The man at the line, Brian Ham, who just made his second free throw to give him 9 points. He has 3 fouls, but everybody else with 2, Jason Martin, Barry Kim, Michael Curry. And 1 foul apiece to Brian Kim, Jason Waller, and Ryan Peterson. Third free throw doesn't go down for Brian Ham. Rebound to Sammy Price. Keith Davis in the ball game, guarded by Ham, pulls it out and gets it over to Wallace. Wallace drives the paint, passes out to Cofer. Cofer's three-point shot, no good. He missed that one like Mike Cofer does sometimes for San Francisco. Michael Curry with the ball, gets it over to Brian Ham. Now over to Brian Kemp, three-point shot, rattles in from the near baseline. Brian Kemp. And a timeout on the...
No, they really stepped on the line when he went through the inbound pass.
I didn't see that one. I thought maybe Klingenpool was going to call a timeout.
Well, he will now, I believe.
He has to now with a turnover against Italy as they step on the line, inbounding the ball.
Brian Kemp is shooting.
Hey.
That's his first basket of these regional semifinals and finals, as he did not score any points last night, but he had an open three-point shot, and just buried it from the near corner here. And there's all kinds of people coming alive for Krum right now.
Everybody's trying to contribute their part to the Trip to Austin Fund.
Well, Barry Kemp is certainly doing his point as Clay Stewart hands me a note here. 17 points and 10 rebounds for the big man.
Another double-double for the guy who will probably, in my opinion, have to get all tournament MVP here at the regionals this afternoon after this game's over. 55-42, the Krum Bobcats. And I don't want to be the voice of doom, but I'll just remind you what the Waxahachie beat writer told us. Italy was down 25 points to Itasca earlier this season and came back to grab a lead in the fourth period. So
not over yet.
It's nowhere near over yet. We've got 11 minutes of heavy basketball yet to play. 3 minutes left to go in the third period. Krum with the 13-point lead, 55-42. Krum to inbound the ball underneath Italy's basket. Alley-oop to Barry Kemp. Perfect as it falls down for Barry Kemp, 19 points. Trying to steal the inbound pass, and a traveling violation again as they get called for another inbounding violation.
Well, Michael Curry and Jason Martin doing their part as they double-team Kenneth Wallace. Wallace had no place to go and ended up traveling. Some nice full-court pressure by Krum.
Inbounding underneath the Italy basket one more time. Brian Kemp feeds it over to Barry Kemp. Kemp working against Price. Turnaround jump shot up off the front of the rim, no good. Jason Martin slices in, fights for the rebound, gets it. Shot up, no good. Tip up from Brian Kemp, no good. Rebound comes down to Copeland. Copeland with a 2-on-2. Feeds it over to Ken Wallace. Wallace has to save it from going out of bounds. Barry Kemp's ball, and it goes out off the hands of the Krum Bobcats, Italy's ball.
Well, Wallace came down like a freight locomotive, and unfortunately he had a full head of steam and no place to go, and ended up just trying to toss that ball back inside.
Copeland, three-point shot on the way, back to the rim, no good. Here comes Joe Mack Huggins with the rebound. He gets it back outside. Wallace tries to fight through, stolen by Brian Kemp. Kemp gives the ball to Curry, who wants to slow down the action a little bit. He's telling everybody to stay paced. And here's Copeland over on the other end, knocking bodies around with Brian Kemp, and he gets called with the foul. The first shot, the hardest shot, didn't get called, and then that second shot finally did.
Well, he almost knocked Brian Kemp to the floor down here right in front of the Krum bench. And I think all of the Krum Bobcats stood up, and Troy Ham started yelling, and the lead referee actually saw what was going on. Copeland continued the action as they headed towards the baseline, and that's where he got whistled for the foul.
A little frustration setting in on Aaron Copeland right now. His team's down by 14 points as Barry Kemp gets the inbound pass and puts it in over Sammy Price. 21 for Barry Kemp, and he's got a three-point play opportunity because you can count that basket with the foul.
That is just flat-out out-positioning your opposing player.
That's vintage Barry.
That's all it is.
Barry Kemp with 21.
Price was in a good position, but unfortunately just did not try and make a move, and Barry Kemp just went right over him.
And Barry Kemp hits the free throw for the three-point opportunity. 22 points for him. Sammy Price now bringing the ball up for Lee as they gets it into Wallace. Now back outside Keith Davis. Three-point shot on the way, no good, front of the rim. And Barry Kemp with the rebound. Brian Kemp now over to Michael Curry. 2 minutes left to go in the third period. An 18-point lead for the Krum Bobcats, 60-42. Curry over to Brian Ham. Minute 57 left. Brian Ham back to Curry, guarded by Wallace. Inside, Brian Kemp now finds Barry Kemp. Turn around on Barry Kemp, loses the ball. He loses it away, stolen by Michael Curry on a pass from Italy. Curry, pull-up jumper from in the paint, rolls off. No good. Keith Davis with the rebound. Finds Price. Now he finds Huggins. Huggins driving down, fakes a pass, goes in for the layup. Off the back of the rim, no good, but counted with a foul, and it goes against Barry Kemp. That's number 3 on Barry.
I don't think the basket went in.
It didn't count. But he will go to the line to shoot a couple free throws.
And that's 3 fouls
on Barry Kemp, yeah.
Well, it was a nice move by Huggins as he caught Barry Kemp out of position and then decided instead of passing it to go up with the shot and draw the foul. I don't think he would have drawn the foul if he had passed it off.
Huggins at the free throw line. Joe Mack Huggins, a senior, 6'4". His first shot, no good. He got 5 points in this ball game.
Italy's been playing a little bit desperate here in the last couple of minutes, and that might work to their advantage because they'll try to speed up the thing and use their team speed.
The ovation you hear for Barry Kemp coming off to take a seat with 3 fouls. Into the game comes Jason Waller. Ryan Peterson will check in at the next substitution. Jason Martin. The second free throw was down for Joe Mack Huggins. He's got 6 points. 60-43. As Ryan Peterson comes in, Brian Kemp goes out. So it's Jason Martin, Michael Curry, Brian Ham, Ryan Peterson, and Jason Waller in the ball game. Out of the ball game is Sammy Price, so you can afford to go with a smaller lineup here. Jason Martin on the far side. Looks for Michael Curry. Curry trying to cut. Guarded closely by Wallace. Martin passes it out to Ryan Peterson. Peterson takes it, fakes a pass, now gives it over to Jason Martin. Martin guarded by Cofer, drives past him, now on the baseline, finds Waller. 5-foot shot for Waller, falls down. Jason Waller with
look at Curry.
Curry rallying the troops, and he's like an extension of Troy Ham on the floor. He is the coach on the floor, and with a senior point guard like Michael Curry, that is invaluable to a team. Kincaid now gets the inbound pass from Italy. Keith Davis over to Kim Wallace. Wallace drives baseline, now pulls it back out. Wallace going up against Ryan Peterson, has nowhere to go. Finds Kincaid out on three-point line range and misses it. Jason Waller with the rebound. 38 seconds left to go in the third period. 62-43. 9-point lead, or 19-point lead, sorry, for the Krum Bobcats. Inside to Waller, foul on Keith Davis. Davis with pushing foul against Jason Waller as he was coming in for a post move. 27 seconds left to go in the third period. And Waller will go to the free throw line. And no, he will inbound the ball. That's only the 15th foul against Italy.
The great play of the Krum Bobcats has left these Italy fans just sitting on their hands right now. They can't really say anything. Haven't had a chance to cheer.
Inbound pass to Waller. Waller puts up a shot, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts up a shot, and fouled by Joe Mack Huggins.
If that's on Huggins, that's 5. It is.
Yep, they're calling 31. Joe Mack Huggins, and the 6'4" senior comes out of the ball game.
6 points and 5 rebounds for Joe Mack Huggins.
Huggins comes out with 24 seconds left to go in the third period. And what his absence will mean to this team in the fourth period, who knows how much it will, because he is a strong inside presence.
Yeah, he had a chance to be the double teamer on Barry Kemp, and now Sammy Price is going to have to pretty much go it alone.
Waller misses his first free throw. Robbie Freeman, a 6'1" senior, is into the ball game to replace Huggins. And Waller going for free throw number 2, trying to make it a 20-point lead for Krum. Shot up, rolls off, no good. In with the ball, rebound is Ken Kofer, and Kofer gets it off to Davis. Davis brings the ball up, 19 seconds left, over to Wallace. Now back to Davis, 3-point shot from Ken. Davis falls, and you don't leave Kenneth Davis open from that range. He nails it, 13 points for Ken Davis. 9 seconds left, Curry driving the lane, shot up off the glass, no good. Fight for the rebound, bounces out, Jason Martin, 3 seconds, turn around, put up a shot, falls down for Jason Martin, and time expires in the third period. Jason Martin with 8 points, and at the end of the third period, it's 64-46 the Krum Bobcats. Austin is only 8 minutes away. We'll be back with Krum Bobcats. 46 on the Italy Gladiators. Inside working to Ken Kofer. Kofer passes back out to Davis, takes another 3-point shot, rolls off, no good. Jason Martin with the rebound, and Michael Curry gets the ball, brings it up. Want to make a quick correction on something that I had wrong. The tip-off for tonight's North Texas, Northeast Louisiana game is at 8:30 as Jason Martin takes a three-point shot. It's no good, and it rolls out of bounds off the hands of Krum. The tip-off for North Texas, Northeast Louisiana at 8:30 tonight. Pre-game gets underway at 8:15. So that's when you need to tune in for North Texas basketball.
Coach Ham talking to his troops just during that time. They don't need to get into a run-and-gun situation with Italy. They just need to keep following their game plan of half-court offense, and they should be able to do things right.
Shot up on the way from Keith Davis, no good. Jason Waller with the rebound. Michael Curry with the ball, and he is fouled on the play. Michael Curry fouled, and they'll take Ken Kofer with the foul. That'll be number 4 on Kofer. So another Italy Gladiator on the verge of fouling out. And they show the scorer's table with 4 fouls on him, so we are correcting that.
Barry Kemp just checked into the ball game, and Sammy Price isn't on the floor, I should say. So look for Krum to just continue with that half-court inside on Kemp. And as soon as I said, well, no, that wasn't him either. Aaron Copeland checked into the ball game. 17 turnovers for Italy compared to 8 for Krum. And the three-pointers are 5 of 12 for Italy and 4 of 7 for Krum.
The Krum Bobcats step to the line. Michael Curry, 64-46. Curry sinks the first one. Michael Curry has had a stellar game for the Krum Bobcats. 13 points, but that doesn't even tell half the story. Has been a point guard presence, a defensive monster for the Krum Bobcats this afternoon. Trying to make it a 20-point game, and he doesn't, then he misses the second free throw. Loose ball out on the court, and who gets it? Michael Curry. He gets it back to Jason Martin, over on the near wing. Three-point shot, no good, tipped around and out of bounds. The ball comes back to Krum. Italy fans not happy about that.
Some of them stepped out on the court in their exuberance to contest that call. And the police officer on the other end, quick to show them where the line is as to where they can't traverse over.
Jason Martin inbounded to Barry Kemp. Feeds it out to Brian Ham. Three-point shot on the way from the near wing. Cans it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full for Brian Ham. 12 points in the ball game. And Copeland leading the way up the court. Keith Davis inside to Sammy Price. Against Kemp. Turns around. Jumper good for Sammy Price. And Price with 11 points in the ball game. But that has not been enough this afternoon. 68-48 Krum. Jason Martin streaking down court. Has an open lane. Takes it right to the basket. Bucket good for Jason Martin. 10 points.
Nobody even paid any attention to him. And he went straight up for the layup.
Copeland over to Wallace. Wallace back over to Price. 3-point shot on the way for Price off the front of the rim. Inside, rebound comes down to Wallace. Blocked by Waller. Barry Kemp with the rebound. Barry Kemp tries to get it over to Curry. Loses it away to Copeland. Price up off the glass. No good, but a foul on the play. Michael Curry caught with pushing Sammy Price. And when you got 5'9", going up against 6'6", you got to do something to keep him from hitting the basket.
Well, Sammy Price and Aaron Copeland did a good job of doubling on Barry Kemp. He had the ball but had no place to do it. He was trying to look for Michael Curry but couldn't find him, and Aaron Copeland was right there to take the steal and lead for the layup for Price.
70-48, the Krum Bobcats. And they have not been closely contested in the playoffs so far. Sammy Price misses the first free throw.
That's only the first free throw he's missed in the ballgame. He's 2 of 3 now.
Carlos, I did not expect Krum to be challenged in the by-district round, nor really in the area round. I figured here in Stephenville they would get at least one very close game.
Well, this game's not over yet.
It's not over, but it hasn't happened yet either. 70-49, Sammy Price connects on free throw number 2. He's got 12. Curry dribbling down and a foul on the play. Foul on Kenneth Wallace. Wallace with 3 now. This Italy team just a little outmanned by the depth of Krum. Got the key players into foul trouble early with Sammy Price, Joe McHuggins, and Ken Kofer all picking up numerous fouls. Huggins even out of the ball game. Curry, the free throw, no good. Rebound bounces out. Michael Curry and Barry Kemp fighting for it together. A pass over the head. Michael Curry, Jason Martin gets it, and Martin turns around, puts it up, and good. Jason Martin with 12 points in the ball game. Aaron Copeland, guarded by Jason Martin, now passes over to Keith Davis. Davis tries to bring it through, pull up 3-point shot on the way, no good. Barry Kemp with the rebound. Price takes it away from him and puts it back in. Nice play from Sammy Price. He's got 14 now. Little too much, too late. As they want a traveling call on Michael Curry, the official doesn't call it. 72-51. Krum has the lead. Brian Ham dishes it out to Michael Curry. Three-point shot on the way, no good off the front of the rim. Rebound to Keith Davis. Sends it down court to Ken Tate. Tate driving, layup up, good for Ken Tate, and he was all alone. 3 points for the quarterback. Jason Martin gets the ball on the inbound. 72-53. 5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Krum with the lead.
This is where Krum has got to settle down and play their half court again. They can't go back and forth up and down the court with Italy because that's how Italy will get ahead quickly.
Keith Davis steals the ball away. Gets it over to Ken Tate. Tate in the ball game with Wallace and Kofer. Inside, tries to feed it to Price. Stolen by Barry Kemp. Michael Curry with the ball. 4:43 in the ball game, and a timeout on the court. Timeout called by the Krum Bobcats.
Troy Ham is really screaming at his son.
It's a regrouping session here.
He's obviously not happy with what's going on, but that was a nice attempt by Italy on that last ball down the court. As Ken Tate tried to get an alley-oop to Sammy Price, it probably would have brought the house down if they'd been able to get it. But Barry Kemp was the man who was further down the court, and it looked like he was passing it to him.
72-53. Krum up by 19 with 4:41 left to go in the ball game. Now it looks at this point, if Krum can just continue to play the solid kind of play that they've been doing this game, the offense, the defense coming together like it has in this ball game, that they will be able to hold on to this lead. You cannot really look for too much aggressiveness out of this Italy team because everybody's in foul trouble. If you go too hard at it, you're going to end up with nobody in the ball game who can help you out.
Well, that's why it is important for Krum to maintain their half-court offense, to take care of the ball so they don't have any steals and any fast breaks for Italy going the other way. They also are going to have to start hitting their foul shots because I have a feeling that Italy is going to be fouling regardless of the foul situation. They're going to have to foul out of desperation to try and get the ball back if Krum can take care of the other two things.
Jason Martin to inbound the ball, gets it to Brian Ham. Ham guarded up top by Kofer. Over to Curry. Curry with Wallace on him. Both these teams playing man-to-man defense in the ball game today. Jason Martin drives into the paint. Pull-up jumper, no good. Fight for the rebound, goes out of bounds off the hands of Italy and Krum's ball.
Well, Italy's really frustrated. They did the job on that particular play and forcing a shot from Krum that was no good, but they just could not get the rebound. And when you got 4.5 minutes left to go, those kind of things are very important.
Jason Martin gets the inbound pass, tries to put up a shot, and they call him with a travel. Turnover for Krum, and the Italy Gladiators bring the ball down once again. They've gotten a lot of points to make up here in a short period of time. Copeland drives the paint, tries to go up, and they get a foul called on Michael Curry. Curry with 4. Michael Curry close to coming out of this ball game if he picks up one more.
Yeah, that's something that could hurt Krum if Italy can continue this pace. They do have a long way to go, Italy does, but you don't want to give them any kind of an advantage, and having Curry out of the ball game would certainly be an advantage for the Gladiators.
To inbound the ball for the Gladiators, Keith Davis. Krum also one foul away from putting Italy in the bonus. Davis passes out to Copeland. Copeland inside to Price. Price has the ball almost knocked away by Curry. Keeps it. Now over to Wallace. Three-point shot on the way from Wallace. No good. Rebound down inside Copeland. Copeland up and no good. Foul on the play for Brian Kemp, and Brian Kemp with his second foul. 4:09 left to go in the ball game, and that will put Italy in the bonus. Aaron Copeland stepping to the line.
Well, Krum doing a good job right now. They just got to focus on getting the rebound off of these shots. Right now, Italy is out-quicking them to the ball. And Aaron Copeland showing some of that speed and getting that rebound.
Aaron Copeland hits his first shot. Now 4 minutes away from Austin for the Krum Bobcats. 72-54, they have the lead. As Aaron Copeland steps to the line to hit shot number 2.
Don't say the A word just yet.
Shot up and good for Copeland. As Copeland connects on both, he's got 13 points. Brian Ham feeds it over to Curry. Top of the circle now, Brian Kemp. Over to Curry once again. Feeds it back to Paul Ragland. Ragland pulling it out and calling for some time delay here. Italy converges on him. He passes over to Brian Ham. Now back over to Brian Kemp. Down inside, Brian Ham drives around, turns over, now pulls it back out. Michael Curry near half court. Over to Brian Ham, drives baseline, finds an open lane, tries to put up a shot, doesn't go. Sammy Price with the rebound. Price comes over, passes it down to Wallace. Wallace, his layup, falls around and down. Wallace with 4. 72-57. The Krum Bobcats ahead.
Italy's using that speed to close in for those layups right now. But as you said, it's a long way to go.
Barry Kim drives past Price, puts a shot up and good. Barry Kim with 24.
And he threw a little shoulder into Sammy Price and knocked Sammy sideways just for an extra effort, I guess.
And Barry Kim gets the rebound off the Wallace layup attempt, and immediately foul is called. And if that foul's on Sammy Price, which it isn't,
that shoots that
as
down.
I find out that real quick.
That's Wallace. That's 4 on Wallace, though. There are 3 Italy Gladiators who are 1 foul away from being out of here. Sammy Price is 1, Kenneth Wallace and Ken Kofer are the other 2.
So Barry Kim steps to the line in the bonus for Krum. Kim's free throw, no good. Keith Davis comes down with the rebound, pushes it up court quickly, stops, pops from three-point range, no good. Fights for the rebound with Paul Ragland, and the ball goes out of bounds. They call it with Italy.
Yeah, Ragland did a nice job of reaching over to try and get that right in front of the Italy bench, but it just went off his hands and out of bounds.
74-57 Krum. Copeland drives past Kim, tries to feed it inside, finds Wallace. He has to save it from going out of bounds. Kofer now turns around, pull-up jumper from 17, and he hits it. Kenneth Wallace with 6 points. Brian Ham gets the inbound pass, leads the breakup. Barry Kemp all alone, goes driving for the hoop, and he hits it with traveling violation. Wave it off. Kemp took an extra step, and that was a massive dunk that didn't count.
Well, every time he gets the ball with Price with 4 fouls on him, you know he's thinking, take it up straight to the hole. And unfortunately, in his exuberance to do it that time, he took 1 step too many. That was pretty close to being a foul on Sammy Price, but the travel occurred beforehand.
Copeland over to Wallace, out back outside to Copeland. He pulls back, shoots a 3, and cans it. Aaron Copeland, 16 points, has no idea where that three-point line is. He's just shooting it. Jason Martin taking it coast to coast, driving the shot, goes down but doesn't count. Wave off the shot, but there is a foul on the play against Jason Martin. Or will go against Italy. It was fouling Jason Martin. And the foul goes on Keith Davis. That's his second.
The lead is down at 12, and Krum has got to hit their free throws. They're getting the fouls that they need, but they need to hit these free throws.
74-62, 2:16 left to go in this ball game. Regional championship here in Stephenville. Jason Martin steps to the line and, like a cool veteran, hits his first free throw. He's got 13 points. 75-62, a 13-point lead. He has a chance to make it 14 here. Packed house on the Krum side here in Stephenville. Italy fans on their feet. Second free throw, no good. Comes down to Kofer. Now over to Copeland. Copeland driving past Kim. Dishes it out for Kate. Kate, three-point shot, partially deflected. No good. Rebound, Jason Martin. And there's a foul on the play.
Is that Price? That's Price, and he's out of here.
There goes Price. So Joe McHuggins and Sammy Price both out of the ball game with fouls. There goes Sammy Price with 14 points after an awesome performance last night. 31 points and 13 rebounds. Gets 14 tonight against Krum. 2 minutes left to go in the ball game, and he's gone.
He had 7 rebounds also, but he was negated pretty much inside by Barry Kemp. And that was kind of a cheap foul for him to use on his 5th.
Yep. As it sends Jason Martin to the line, and he makes his first one. He's got 14. And a timeout called by Ed Klingenpeel for Italy as he watches his team go down by 14 with 2 minutes left to go here in the ball game. And the state-bound signs are starting to come out.
Well, Buffy Blue, the Krum Bobcat mascot, got the Krum Bobcat state-bound sign up and is holding it up. 2 minutes to go. I still think Krum has to take care of some business. But as I said, it was a little bit of a cheap foul on Price. Martin clearly had the rebound, and I think Price was just trying a desperation attempt to knock the ball out of his hands, and it was kind of ill-advised. But once again, you know, the same thing that we talked about last night has hurt Italy this night, the same thing that hurt Itasca. 18 turnovers for the Gladiators compared to 13 for Krum. As far as the three-point shooting goes, last night, Italy only hit 1 out of 10. They are 5 of 15 so far. Krum is 5 of 11. but they're going to have to start relying on those three-point shots now with a 14-point deficit.
2 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the ball game. 76-62, the Krum Bobcats with the 14-point lead. Bringing it out onto the court for this final exchange here. Jason Martin, Brian Ham, Barry Kemp, Michael Curry, and Brian Kemp, the starters on the floor. The Krum Bobcats 12 of 23 from the free throw line.
That's something Coach Ham's not going to like.
No. Lee is, what, 12 of 15?
10 of 15.
10 of 15. The first free throw and the only one for Jason Martin is good after they called that timeout to try to ice him. That was his second. He's 15 points good in the ball game. Three-pointer on the way, no good from Wallace. Rebounded by Brian Ham, saved inbounds. Jason Martin, and a foul call on Jason Martin against Ken Kofer. And in Kofer, that's his fifth. So three Italy Gladiators have fouled out of the ball game.
Well, Italy's going to be left with two people on the bench here after Kofer comes out.
And all their inside help is gone.
Yep. So they're going to have to start chucking it from the three-point line now. There's not going to be too much as Kofer fouls out with 4 points and 9 rebounds. He held his own underneath, considering the effort that Sammy Price was held to.
Jason Martin steps to the line again. And if you want anybody at the line, Jason Martin's as good as anybody for Krum. He hits the first one at 78-62. Jason Martin with 16 points.
And he's 7 of 8 from the free throw line so far in this game.
Second shot up and good for Jason. He's got 17. Keith Davis comes down, passes it over, three-point shot on the way, an air ball from Italy, and a rebound comes down to Wallace, who puts it back up, and it's no good. Ball goes out of bounds, and Krum with the ball in the ball game. Brian Hall makes his first appearance in the ball game tonight. Inbound the ball, Brian Kemp gets it over to Jason Martin. Martin bringing the ball up court, looks to Troy Ham, thinking Detroit might want to call a timeout, and they do. So it's 1:38, the Krum Bobcats call timeout. They lead 79-62, and they are 1 minute and a half away from going to Austin.
Well, you got to hand it to these Krum Bobcats. This is 3 years in a row now. They've been to Stephenville. They managed to make it 2 years ago in 1992 all the way to Austin. Last year, of course, they fell short to a surprising Itasca-Wampus Cat team in the region finals. This year, they've taken care of business all the way down the line, going undefeated. There hasn't been a team that has been able to beat the Krum Bobcats so far in this season. And they took care of business in the district with District 11 2A. They were unchallenged in by-district and area is pretty much what we thought. And like you said, Doug, we thought that they might face a little bit more tougher competition. And they have faced tougher competition, but Krum has been able to kick it up that much more so they maintain their dominance, for lack of a better word, over the opponent.
34 wins in a row, 34-0 this season. The Krum Bobcats look to be heading to Austin. Brian Kemp to inbound the ball with 1:38 to go. He gets it over to Michael Curry.
Nope.
Curry called for an over and back as he stepped on the other line, and Troy not happy about that one at all. And I don't know if he questions Curry or if he questions the official. I think he's talking to the official about it now, saying that that is not an over and back call.
Well, Curry had the ball in the front court, and he took a step into the back court, and now Troy Ham is pretty close to getting a technical foul.
Oh, they probably should have called one on him. That's the way he was acting, and that's the booing you hear from Itasca fans or Italy fans wanting a technical foul call as the ball goes out of bounds off the hands of the Krum Bobcats Italy's ball.
And I hate to disagree with Troy Ham in this situation, but Curry came down with the ball in the front court and then took a step into the back court.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. Brian Hall gets the ball turned around off the glass, no good. Barry Kemp with the rebound. Ball knocked away by Aaron Copeland. Copeland trying to drive in and knocks the ball over to Aaron Wallace, but Wallace never touched it before Copeland touched it back again, and it's a double dribble on Copeland turnover. Brian Ham with the ball, inbounding it. He brings it up across half court, feeds it over to Jason Martin. Martin double teamed, drives past Tate, and they call a foul on Tate. So 10 Tate fouls, and he's got his first there, so he's one of the few Italy Gladiators that isn't on the verge of fouling out. Sammy Price, Ken Coper, and Joe McHuggins all out of the ball game with fouls.
Unfortunately, though, Kate fouled the wrong person. The best free throw shooter on the team in this game has been Jason Martin.
Martin steps to the line and does it again. With 18 points, he hits the first free throw. Jason Martin building those stats up 1 point at a time. He's got 18, a chance to go to 19. 80-62 Krum. Second free throw, good. 81-62, 19-point lead with a minute left to go in the ball game. Wallace shooting a three. This one nowhere near. And the save back in by Rob Freeman, but saved to Krum. And a foul on the play, loose ball foul, as Copeland knocks down Kemp again. And that wrestling match has been going on all day. Copeland with his second foul, I believe.
Well, it's an intentional foul as Kemp was shoved to the floor, and it is on Aaron Copeland, and that is his second foul.
1 minute away from Austin, 81-62. The Krum Bobcats with the lead. And since it was an intentional foul, Brian Kemp will go to the line alone to shoot two, and Krum will get the ball back.
Well, I think some desperation and frustration has set in for the Italy Gladiators. They've had a great season, came into this tournament with a 24-8 record, was able to upend the Electra Tigers last night, but they will come up short here against Krum.
Out comes Barry Kemp, out comes Jason Martin, both the standing ovations by the Krum fans, and they deserve it. Kemp with 21 points on the night, Jason Martin with 19, and a well-deserved handshake from Troy Ham. Brian Kemp misses both free throws, but Krum gets the ball back. They lead 81-62. Kemp to inbound, looking for Michael Curry, can't get him, gets it over to Ryan Peterson. Peterson now finds Curry. Curry guarded by Wallace. Dribbles past him, dribbles past by Robbie Freeman. Curry holding on to the ball, driving into the lane, has the ball knocked away, fights for it, tries to pass it off, gets it to Waller. Waller sends it back outside to Brian Kemp. Over to Ryan Peterson. Paul Ragland with the ball. Michael Curry has the seconds tick away. 40 now. Ryan Peterson, far wing. Has the ball, passes to Michael Curry. Drives in, pitches it back out to Paul Ragland. 32 seconds. Michael Curry inside. Now dishes back out again to Ragland. Back to Curry. Ragland back with it, and the sound becomes deafening. 20 seconds away. Michael Curry looks at the clock. The Krum crowd on their feet. And finally, Robbie Freeman fouls Michael Curry. 15 seconds away. The Krum fans and the Krum Bobcats starting to celebrate here in Stephenville.
And the Italy fans...
Brett Anders is not going to have a chance to hit his three-pointers.
No. The Italy fans are starting to head for the exit. Some of them are. And, well,
maybe he gets one in there. And here comes Brett into the ball game. And he'll come out for Brian Kemp. Jake Chisholm and John Benedict are going to make their way in to run off the last 15 seconds. Out of the ball game comes Ryan Peterson. Out of the ball game comes Paul Ragland. Ragland, who had 6 points in the ball game. 6 of them in about a span of a minute, though. He really took over for 1 minute in that ball game.
Now we got one too many Bobcats on the floor.
Yeah, everybody's making some substitutions. I think Anders is going to come in for Curry, who he's going to come in for, but Curry's still got some free throw shooting to do.
Curry better hit his free throw in order to come out for an ovation, and this place is going to go nuts when he comes out.
Oh, yeah. MVP of this ball game. Michael Curry hits it, comes out. Curry with 14 points. And Curry, the floor leader, celebrates with his teammates. He gets a big hug from Troy Ham, as does Brian Kemp. Troy, who yells for 40 minutes a ball game, cannot be prouder of the guys right now. 83-62. All the Krum guys on their feet. And on the other side, on the Italy bench, towels over the heads as their season comes to an end. But they have fought. They played well. They beat Electra last night. Crowd control now, I think, is what is on the mind of the two teams as the officer comes over, the security officers come over to make sure the crowd here on the Italy side does not come over too harshly. As Wallace puts a shot up, this one no good, and a foul on the play, or a turnover, and a double dribble on a travel.
Copeland had the ball stuffed and just came down with it, got called for the travel.
Benedict passes over to Brett Anders. Anders trying to run clock off. 3, 2, 1. Last second shot from Waller, no good, but it doesn't matter. The Krum Bobcats have won, and they are on their way to Austin. 83-62, the final score. The Krum Bobcats huddle in a tight formation there on center court to congratulate one another as they are going to Austin. I congratulate the Italy Gladiators, who did fight like gladiators today. For 32 minutes, they were out there giving it everything they got, but in the end, it wasn't enough. A 21-point win for the Krum Bobcats, 83-62. And the crowd on their feet for Krum, a little stunned on the Italy side, but they can be proud of their ball club. We're going to have the post-game show here when Krum Bobcat basketball continues. Victor Willis round out my team.
Kemp, Curry, Price, Willis, and who else?
Kemp, Curry, Price, Willis, and Jason Martin.
And Jason Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with all of those. Curry for Electra. Price for Electra.
And we've already got one upset here.
Victor Willis for Electra had 26 points and 14 rebounds in the game against Italy. For some of those fans who may not have known, that's what we have given him it for.
3 Krum Bobcats make the all-tournament team, the official all-tournament team, and the MVP, Barry Kemp. The other 2, Jason Martin and Brian Ham. Mike Dunlap, Victor Willis, and Sammy Price. I left Dunlap off my list, but that's okay. Victor Willis, Sammy Price, but where's Michael Curry? I guess, you know, the things that Michael Curry does don't show up in the numbers, but I think that he deserves an all-tournament selection. But nonetheless, Barry Kemp, undoubtedly the MVP.
Well, they also gave Brian Ham, and as you see, the net was cut down, and they gave it to Matthias Eckstein. Eckstein gets to hold the trophy, and that's a nice move by Coach Troy Ham to give him that.
Let him accept the trophy for the Krum Bobcats, Region 2 champions. Those are your all-tournament team selections, and the Krum Bobcats on the way to Austin, and that just symbolizes what Troy Ham preaches about all year, team play.
Right.
And the fact that one guy is not any more important than the other guy on the Krum Bobcat squad. They're all in it together, and they're all in it with a common goal to make it to Austin, and they're on their way.
Well, the trophy case in front of the gymnasium will have one more showpiece to be put in right now. But there's still one more that I'm sure that the Krum Bobcats would like to add to that one, and they'll get a chance next weekend in Austin.
Let's throw the locker room talk with the guys, because now, Coach, the team is heading south, going to Austin again. And after this game tonight, just what an impressive output that the team did, and team display on offense and defense. I thought that you really did a good job shutting down an athletic Italy team today.
Well, we did. We played very well defensively, and we played, you know, the kids just did what they had to do to win the game. You know, they made some adjustments. When they made them, we made them. And the kids, just, you know, on the floor, they did a great job of adjusting on the floor and making the adjustments that they needed to make on both the offensive end and the defensive end to never let them get that run on us. You know, we knew they had the ability and had the athleticism to make those big quarters and make those runs on us, and we just never let them do that. And I think that was really frustrating them. And as the game progressed, I think they started dragging their heads a little bit.
Barry Kemp was named tournament MVP, undoubtedly a deserved honor. He had 24 points tonight, another double-double for him. But I thought today one of the guys that really just played Krum basketball to its best and really carried you along, Michael Curry, today.
Michael has done a great job. You know, these MVPs or these all-tournament selections are I'm sure are tough. I don't know who's responsible for doing that, but you know, I think if anybody deserved on our team to be all-tournament, it certainly deserved to be Michael, because the things he does for us are not, you know, they're not stat things. You know, handling the pressure, getting the ball to the right people, playing defense on their good point guards, not letting them do the things by penetrating and passing and just getting them in the flow of their offense. So all of those things are so important to us defensively but yet, you know, they don't show up in the stats and they don't show up on the scoreboard. But there's no doubt that he's a very, very big, important part of this ball club. And without him, we would not be here today.
Coach, we talked before the game, Doug and I, about what possible way you were going to attack Italy. as far as offensively was concerned, and we thought the first thing you were going to do was give the ball to Barry Kemp, and that's exactly what you did. He really did a number on Sammy Price on defense as well.
Well, we felt like we could, you know. So you always talk about things that you want to try to do. I guess you have a game plan, so to speak, when you go into the game, and you hope the kids will listen and go out and execute, and they did tonight. We felt like we could take it to him because we didn't feel like he was that great of a defensive player. He's prone to getting fouls, and Barry did. They spread out and come out pressure us on our perimeters because I feel like they probably respected our ability to shoot the ball, and the kids, that allowed us to get the ball inside, and Barry did a great job of taking it to the hole and scoring once he got it there.
3 players from the Italy Ball Club fouled out of this ball game, and that is a testament to what your philosophy was. You went in and you pressured them, you forced them to commit on defense like that, and they had foul trouble real early in the ball game, which allowed you to set up some more offensive patterns.
Well, they did, the kids just played so well. I don't know what to say other than that we just made those adjustments and kept them from penetrating, kept them from getting the ball inside, and when we did, we shut down those penetration lanes and forced them to try to pass, and did a pretty good job of cutting off the passing lanes, and as a result, they were throwing the ball, pretty well all over the place.
Last year, you got to the same spot, and you didn't make it against the Tascade. Fell just a little bit short. This year, you go ahead, you crushed Itasca, you crushed Italy. What's the difference between this year's team and last year's team?
Well, I don't know. As I've stated many times already this year, I hate to compare one team to the other. I think one thing this team probably has that we didn't have last year is that we're a better defensive team. And defense comes from hard work. It comes from intensity. It comes from desire. And I think one thing that we probably have this year that we didn't have last year is, we've been to the state tournament 3 years in a row, and last year could have been the 4th, and maybe it was coming too easy for us. And this year, after what happened last year, they had that desire. That fire was back in their eyes, and when you have that, you're going to play a little better defensive. But I think our defense, and we're a little quicker probably than last year's team, and I think we're a little more balanced. We don't look to 1 or 2 players as much as we probably did last year as well.
This team loaded down with seniors: Brian Ham, Michael Curry, Paul Ragland, Jason Martin. You could go on, Barry Kemp, and it's really quite a thing to be able to take all those guys in their last season to Austin for the state tournament.
Well, they're taking themselves. I'm not really taking them anywhere. I'm just going to get on the bus and ride down there with them.
Just going on the ride.
They did that. They earned this. They deserve. They did the things that, last spring and this summer and this fall and during this season. They've done all the things that's ever been asked of them, or not even some things we didn't ask of them. They just did on their own because they knew this is where they wanted to be, and they knew what they needed to do to get here, and as a result, they're there, and they're going.
Well, Coach, congratulations, and I'm sure you want to go back and have some more talks with the guys, but we're going to be talking to you this week, and we'll see you in Austin.
All right, thank you. We appreciate it. Enjoyed it very much.
All right, we did too. That's Coach Troy Ham of the Krum Bobcats.